Hello, my name is Carsten Lützen. I'm an Agile coach and a Scrum Master. If you like these videos, please subscribe and share. That would be super awesome. You might already have guessed what I'm going to talk about. Sprint review in Scrum or whatever. I'm going to use some things from the Scrum Guide just to give you an idea, and some of the misconceptions I've also myself had about the sprint review. So when we are looking at the sprint and at the end of the sprint, we often talk about the sprint review, or we call it the demo. And we usually do that in such a way to show that at the end of the sprint we demo what we have been up to. But that's actually not what we're supposed to do. And I myself have called it a demo for quite some time and have done exactly that. But in fact, it's not the sprint demo, but it's in fact the sprint review. So why that difference? To me, that difference says something about it's not a demo, it's not us presenting, it's actually a review where we can get some feedback, get some learnings, get some hands-on. And that's also in the Scrum Guide. They specifically state that it is a working session to minimize presentation. So it should not be death by PowerPoint. It should be something that we can actually get our hands on, either a prototype on paper or a working system, depending on where are we in the product life cycle. But it is a working session, it's a review, not a demo. It's super important. And how can we do this? How can we structure this? I, as you might already know, am a big fan of liberating structures. And one liberating structure that can be quite useful for getting this good review is, to me, shift and share, or sift and share, I actually think it is, where you, a bit like a science fair, have people go from station to station where they can try out, give feedback to a specific feature, to a specific part of the sprint goal that was met, and then move around. It can also be 1-2 for all or similar. Now I ran out of space. You get it. And then the important thing here is, if it's a good sprint review, it's not only us developers, us team members being in the room. The super important thing to have, if we can, are actual end users. And these end users are hopefully able to come up with some ideas, what works, what doesn't work from the features, anything that stands out to them as something that we need to spend more time on or less time on. Then this is a brilliant meeting to actually get that kind of input from people, and not just from our own little bubble and thinking, yes, we know everything, we have an idea of what is going on, because we're probably not sitting in the same domain or in the same way of working as those folks are. So always try to get some kind of end users, or some, if that's not possible, some good representative or proxies for these end users. And just to recap a bit, the sprint review is a review, so treat it as that. It's a working session. Do not present PowerPoints, do not have everything planned up front. Make it much more interactive, for instance, with this sift and share, where you can have people try out the product, get it in the hands of end users, and then get the feedback, figure out, so what should we then focus on in the next sprint, have the end users help formulate the next sprint goal, maybe together with the product owner or product manager, whatever we call that person. And do not spend days preparing it, because again, it's not a demo, it's just a review. So do not spend a lot of time on creating this super awesome demo. Have it as something much more informal. Have it as a working session. And that was it. I will include a link to a brilliant article by the Liberators on this topic as well. And then I can also recommend you to actually go to the Scrum guide and read these 10 sentences about what is a sprint review. I'm hoping that some of you are up for sharing what is your perception or how do you use sprint reviews. And then, as always, comments, questions, ideas and feedback. It's more than welcome. So please just send it my way. Thank you. Have a super, super awesome day.